Hey guys, welcome back. Curtis, that Turbo Dakota helper Dolly is back here taking care of some recycling for me. She's getting that cardboard up. She's going to work on that. So, where we left out last, the dash was loose in the truck. It was still sitting in the truck. Yesterday, I had a buddy come over. I ended up unhooking the dash, pulling it out completely just to get out of the way. Then I removed the HVAC box, cut a spot of insulation out in the firewall. This stuff's pretty heavy and it's got real thick foam, so we can place our bulkhead connectors. So let me turn the camera around and show you what it looks like. Yeah, so my helper decided to chew on the cardboard. We do not eat cardboard. I guess apparently she thinks otherwise. Thank you. Thank you very much. I know this is your toy. No. Anyway, so look, so helper wants the cardboard. She's not getting the cardboard. It's going over there. So check it out. Let's have a look. So, as you can tell, dash is completely out of the way. I kind of had to because to figure out, it was just easier. It was really hard to work over. So if you look over here on the floor, you can see the dash laying right there. Dash is out. Like I said, the HVAC box is out. You can see that spot in the firewall. I'm pretty sure that's where I'm going to end up putting my connectors. So the next step is, since I got that cut back, I'm going to throw the HVAC box back in place and then just double check to make sure I won't have any interference issues with. I get a little bit of ductwork to the top of that box. You also have a cable, so we're going to make sure we have no interference issues. Then we will figure out exactly where they're going to go. And I bought some fresh hole saws. I had to wait to get them. So I got some fresh hole saws. I think one's 1 inch and 1/16 because 1 inch was just a little bit smaller than what I needed. And that one right there is 1 inch and 5/16. So I've been kind of testing them out in different spots to make sure I get the fitment I want. So I had to wait a day to get those 2 hole saws because nobody had them in stock around here. So, Amazon Prime hooked it up. So let me get the box thrown back in. Give me a second, and then we'll check it out real quick. I'm getting ready to put the box back in. The studs that I talked about in the other video, that you want to be really careful with the studs and the nuts. There's one right there, 2, 3, and 4's over there. Those are the ones I was telling you, spray them down really, really good, especially depending on where you live and how old your truck is. The last thing you want to do is break one of them off or have that nut grab that rust and twist that thing off in this box. You're have a really bad day. Another thing to remember is this vacuum line is really important. Be careful with that tube, is depending on your truck. It could be very, very brittle, and that supplies vacuum goes up to your control head for your HVAC functions, and that's what runs all the doors. See the little vacuum actuator in the pod and everything runs all them doors, so be careful with that too. I'm going to try to set you guys up in here real quick. Give me a second here, like that, and we will throw this box back in. Just give me So you make sure you feed that vacuum line through, and then you get I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's actually a bracket right there, and there's a nut, and I just put it on here like this just to hold it in place. Then I can take and line the studs up. I'm gonna take this back off. I might have spoke too soon. There it goes, it jumped right in there. So we'll put this nut back. Struggling for a little bit. So I got that nut on there right there. Then we can come out here. If you look out here, you got your studs. So there's one there. There. And we got one over here. Like I said, if you still have the air conditioning in your truck, you're going to have to work around the dryer. You actually might have to, and I can't remember, you might have to take that bracket off or out of the way. I can't remember how hard it is to get to that. There's one down here behind the dipstick. There. And the last one's over here. You guys can see it. It's kind of hard to see right there. We'll put that one right here. And just start them with my fingers. That's what I'm really trying to do, is where I cut my insulation back is just make sure that I'm going to have the clearance I need. There, like I said, remember this little vacuum line guy, don't break him off or don't pinch him in the firewall. It actually hooks, you'll see the vacuum line runs across the top of it. That's what that ties into. This thing right here is actually a check valve. Has a reservoir. See this line right here, there's actually a plastic reservoir for your vacuum up inside the cow. So let me snug these things up real quick and then we will run back inside. Give me a second. Snugged up the nuts. So we will come, let's go around to the other side. I can't get the door all the way open just because I have it tight up against my parts washer. So I do believe, get us some more light in there. I think that's where it's going to go. You see the little spot where I cut out the insulation? This thing right here goes like this. And it's got two self-tappers that go there and there. And then it's got some ducting that gets it right there. And then I also have to be mindful of my cable attaches right here and then the cable in. So I could bring that wiring back behind here. I like it. I think that's going to work. That wiring can come back behind here and probably cut and go down through here in this V shape. There should be enough room here because the glove box sits over here. So that should be good, I believe. And then just for reference, right there, if you can see it, you can actually see that piece right there coming through the firewall on the other side. So that's actually a good reference point for us as far as where those connectors are going to go. If you look down, let's see if we can get in there and see it. You guys might be able to see it right there. Yeah, see the thread sticking out right there? That's actually where that piece I just showed you was. So just for reference, you know, you got your heater core lines, which are hiding back there in the corner, that little thread, and then just to my left, or the driver's right, those two connectors should go about right here, here, and here. At least that's what I'm hoping. We'll see if we can get you a better view over here. Yeah, so I'm hoping like right through there, I guess, fellas. Well, I do believe it's time to start drilling holes. So let me get my stuff out. See you in a sec. So before we punch the holes in here real quick, these are my pilots. So, you know, instead of, you know, drilling the final product up, obviously we'll test it right here. So the important part is I want that hole to be tight enough that I can still drill the fore mounting. And I'll show you, that's the 1/16. So that's going to work out really good. There's just a little bit of slop in it, but that's fine. And then it leaves me plenty of room to drill the 4 little pilots down there. So that's going to be one. And like I said, just for reference, I'll probably trace that with a Sharpie real quick. Go ahead and drill the 1 5/16 hole next to it, and that'll actually give me a rough idea of my spacing. So let me do that real quick. Give me just a second. Maybe I can put you guys over here. Angle you back a little bit here. I know that's a weird angle. That's okay. It's going to be all right. So, 1 5/16. Let's see what happens. So, like right. Actually, let me move this. There's gonna be less deflection, and I'll tell you what, we need to move you guys too. So let me pop this hole in here real quick. We'll just come back. Pop my other hole. I think we're gonna have one there, the other one like that. Of course, they're a little bit staggered. So what I'll do is in the truck, I will mark my center line. I'll make a center line and then hole punch it where they need to go. And then from there, I think I'll be all right. So, yeah, I think I can deal with this. All right, give me a second. I'm going to grab some stuff. I'll set you guys on the truck. We'll mark out the location. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this marker back here, and I'm going to scribe a line. Ooh. To give you, or to give me, a rough idea where the bottom of that box sits. And then I'll pull the box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the box back out, and then we'll start pulling a couple measurements and figuring out how I'm going to do this. Okay, so put my template in place, mark my holes out, center punched them. It's that time. So I wanted you guys to witness either a really, really good idea or a really, really bad idea. I think I'm okay though. We'll see. So I got the bigger hole saw, 1 5/16. My pilot. Here we go. Nice and easy. There's one. So that's going to be the bigger shell size. So that one will be, for now, it's just going to be injector wiring. In the future, it'll be injectors and coil pack. Okay, here's a smaller one. This one's gonna house all the sensors. All right, here we go. Ooh, a little bit crazy on that one. I gotta ease up. Well, there it is. So now what I'll do is I'll go grab my deburring tool and run around it in here and run around it outside, and then we'll set them things in place and see how good we did. So give me a second. Okay, so this right here, that's my deburring tool, if you've never seen one. They're pretty cool. They come with different blades. There's different types of blades for different material, and it really just deburrs it. It might be a little bit hard just because of the angle. Just like that. Like that right there. So it's just, normally if you're working on a piece of sheet metal, you got a lot more room. This is a little bit difficult because I got it butted up against the firewall. But for the most part, you got a little bit edge on there where I chattered the thing. So feels pretty good. Let me run on the outside real quick and do the same thing. Okay, so deburred. I got to work on it a little bit more. It's just hard to get to, but here comes the moment of truth. Now I'm going to insert them in here right now. They're going to be backwards, but just to show us. There's one right there. We'll put the other one in real quick. So basically, that's it. Now granted, I still have to drill the holes for the flange. Yeah, I like that. That's nice. So let's take these bad boys and go to the outside and see what they're going to look like. I was hoping they weren't going to be up so high that when I did have to remove them, I was going to have issues just trying to get my hand in there to get them released, but we may or may not be okay. So I don't know if you guys can see this. Get your weird camera angle down here. That one's going to go like that. Right there. And then the other one, switch hands real quick. About like that. You guys can see that right there. Let me see if we can come on this side. It's just hard. I can't get the camera roll out. There we go. There we go, guys. So that's it. That is going to be a good spot. Almost centered in the truck. Not that that really matters because they're always going to be hiding behind the intake. And then as far as releasing them, that shouldn't be too bad too because they're not so far butted up here that I can't get my hand in there and pull them out. But that's it. Cool. So that's exciting. So what's going to happen next? Next up, I'll finish, deburn it. I do have to go get a little bit of hardware. I'm going to clean up my workspace, and to be honest, we're gonna start wiring. I'm gonna pull the wiring harness back out. I'm gonna bring in my diagram that I had blown up and laminated. That'd be pretty cool. I'll show you guys that. We'll talk about that. And we're just gonna start bumping along. Thanks for watching. I'm probably just gonna end it here. I do have to run down to Home Depot, grab hardware for those flanges. I gotta grab screws, and then they actually have their own piece on the back that already has nut certs in it to back that flange up. So I got that here somewhere. I gotta look for it. But again, thanks for watching. Next video, we go into some wiring. Look at my diagram. We'll talk about that, and we should be bumping along. So see you guys next week.